Hello, everyone. So, today we're going to talk about quitting smoking. I know this has been a major issue, not only in our country, but also in the whole world. After all, smoking cigarette is a common thing for us even in the modern times. Okay, say for example, you smoke cigarettes on a regular basis and you became health conscious for some reason, maybe even sudden. Then you wanted to stop this habit for good. Then you're in the right place because I'm going to talk about how can you stop that smoking habit of yours. Specifically, I wanted to talk in behalf of my college student peers, especially those who at least try to smoke cigarettes once in their lives. And here, I'm about to share to you the 3 A's of smoking cessation. And please note that the word smoking cessation essentially is the process where someone stops smoking. Think of it as this word, as cease. You could look up lots of synonyms for that. And just a not so quick storytelling for everyone. Personally, I like this topic as I came from a business oriented family. In Montalban, we have a sari-sari store, and one of the most bought products in our store is cigarettes. Our store prospered partly because our house is literally a jump away from a provincial university. College students would buy some cigarettes from us, and mind you, I can recognize at least 30 same faces a day who will buy this cigarette. But I can't really ask them if they had plans to stop smoking, frankly, because that's one source of income. And second, I might just piss off my mom. Yet I managed to ask one person back in the day, and let's call him Dieter. He smoked this same cigarette with two other friends for the entirety of college. We were like strangers at the start, but one academic year, he was our student teacher for English. We became very close since then, and I asked him a more general ish question. Why do people like you enjoy drinking cigarette and alcohol? I'm going to admit, I'm a bit sheltered, but I'm not new to entertaining customers who smoke, and I know how good it smells for them, even though I'm not a smoker, because so far, 1 out of 10 smokers I service in their store, they puff that smoke right in my face. And Tater's answer was like, well, it gives us great relief. Every time my duty finishes in the student council, I always feel a lot of weight behind my back and I need a fix. Either of the two helps me in making my problems manageable. Besides, Yossi breaks and Inuman are ways we have quality pastimes. And indeed, study shows that stress management is the top barrier in achieving this so-called smoking cessation. The second is high prevalence. What I mean by this is instances of smoking is not only common outside or in peer gatherings, but even inside the house. And these two factors kind of break the momentum in the journey towards quitting smoking. So, for the first of 3 A's, we have avoid. Okay, I know this sounds straight up demanding. Change is difficult to do, but we can do progress when we have a guidance fighting against an addictive thing like smoking. Here in Avoid, we don't only avoid smoking, but also avoid caffeine as well. Caffeine and nicotine are both stimulants and addictive in nature. By rewiring your brain, it lets you waste lots of your precious energy, which can cause fatigue in the long term via, for instance, insomnia, dehydration, stomach irritation, among others. While we are trying to not smoke, we should tend to avoid certain types of people and places that can trigger tobacco cravings whenever possible. But also, we should still constantly seek people and support groups who can help us throughout this cessation process. And in light of this first step, it's essential that you pick a quit date, a meaningful one like your birthday. List everything in a notebook and keep track. Then change the environment or remove the factors that reminds of your smoking addiction. In addition to certain people and things, it's important that keep away those products, cigarettes, lighters, ashtrays, and the like. Next is alter. This is when you change all the specific habits that either result in temptation to smoking or is related to how smoking is done. For example, you can replace coffee or alcohol with water or fruit juice. And instead of cigarettes, we can try to orally intake chewing gums or the typical bubble gum you see in the store. And actually, there are lots in the supermarket. And a pack of 60 just costs half the cigarette price. And the third one is active or keeping the body busy. This replaces the time that should have been spent on smoking by doing activities that are impractical to do with cigarettes at the same time. Either you start a random quick jog outdoors or do a fitness dance at the home, inside when you're shy. Or instead, do your hobbies like learning to cook a new dish or playing instruments. And college students endeavoring to cease smoking should be mindful of the symptoms and consequences associated with nicotine withdrawal. Nicotine withdrawal is the array of symptoms experienced by smokers, such as the following: when abstaining from smoking for an extended duration, particularly during attempts to discontinue the habit. For the recap, avoid straightforwardly removes the use of cigarettes. It tries to detach the smoker from nicotine. In terms of avoid, the smoker who tries to quit smoking shall deal with his or her activities without the aid of tobacco. Alter aims to substitute the aspects of a smoker's routine that involves nicotine intake, while avoid directly deters the individual from smoking altogether. When breaking a habit proves challenging, our focus shifts to eliminating the cigarette from the scenario while constantly introducing viable substitutes that can be realistically adopted as new habits. Active strives to replace time for smoking into physical activity. It can take almost any form. Active also helps in quitting the smoker in formulating activities that are also productive in nature and in turn shall give health benefits. It detoxifies or flushes out the remaining harmful chemicals from the smoker's body that could potentially result in more certain complications. And because of that, the discipline of drinking water is needed. And note that there's no shame in failing to meet your goal of quitting smoking because, again, this is a tough challenge to overcome. But you can try again. As long as you have that notebook, you can always try to reassess the specific actions you made and further tailor your plan to something that's more doable. But mind you, I intend to share the three A's in the large scale because college students are just so enthusiastic to break a bad habit. But please, if you get to have an opportunity to talk to a health professional, especially for free, please take the chance. We only got so much of these people, and it's still a long time before professional help becomes free and accessible for all. Thank you.